She just wanted a perfect skin. So she trusted Pearl Glow, Lagos's most famous skincare vendor. The results? Instant admiration, flawless glow. But behind the bottles, Pearl hid a dangerous secret. Hydroquinone, mercury, steroid creams. This is the shocking story of beauty, greed, and the price of trust. In Lagos, beauty is power. If you are not glowing, people act like you don't exist. That's why I built my empire. From a tiny stall in a crowded Surulere plaza to a fast-growing brand everyone fights to get. People call me Pearl Glow. I'm the skincare queen. At least, that's what they think. I package my products as organic, natural, plant-based, all those sweet words customers love to hear. But inside those fancy bottles with gold labels, danger, chemicals, bleaching agents, strong enough to burn a wall clean. But as long as the products make their skin bright quickly, they don't care. They don't want patience, they want immediate perfection. Every Friday, girls form lines outside my shop. Slay queens, campus girls, runs babes, even married women where their husband don't they look outside. All of them won't become yellow overnight. I smile sweetly and tell them, this one will clear your knuckles. Your nightmare stretch marks, them go fade. Your mango they beg you not to leave house. And they always believe. Do I feel bad? No. In this city, only the strong survive. If something happens to their skin later, who will blame me? By then, I've already changed the product's name, redesigned the label, and moved on. Money flows, orders flood my DMs, my name trends, and I feel unstoppable. I stare at myself in the mirror every morning and hate what I see. Dark patches around my neck, acne scars refusing to go away, knuckles darker than the rest of my skin. My boyfriend keeps saying, you're beautiful the way you are, but anytime a light-skinned girl passes, his eyes follow her like magnets. My friends glow online with flawless skin and luxury filters. Me? I'm always the one hiding at the back of group pictures. I'm tired of feeling invisible. So, when my friend Faye said, there's one woman in Surulere, Pearl Glow, whose products work like magic, I didn't hesitate. We entered her shop that Saturday afternoon. Air conditioning blowing cold, ring lights everywhere, shelves filled with shiny pink and gold bottles. The place looked like a beauty palace. Then she appeared, pale, tall, confident, skin like glass. She walked like someone who never begged for attention in her life. She looked at me once and smiled like she already knew my weaknesses. You have beautiful features. Your glow just needs a little help, she said with a soft voice. Those words, they melted me. For once, I felt seen. She recommended a special set. Glow Body Milk, Spot Eraser Serum, Knuckle Corrector. 120,000 naira. My chest tightened. That was more than half of my monthly salary. But when I imagined myself looking perfect, posting pictures without filters, people finally admiring me, I paid. Pearl slipped the products into a pretty bag and leaned closer. Give it 1 week. You'll come back thanking me. As we left, Faye squeezed my arm. Girl, your life don't change. I smiled, pretending to be fearless. But inside, I whispered a small prayer. God, please, let this be the miracle I've been waiting for. Because in a world that worships beauty, I'm done being ordinary. Amaka left my shop smiling like she just bought the key to a new life. I watched her walk away through the glass door, so eager to glow, so desperate to matter. Girls like her keep my business alive. Back inside, I locked the door to the back room, my real lab. The part customers don't get to see. The air smelled of chemicals, plastic containers everywhere, boxes of imported creams with labels written in languages I don't understand. I pulled out the stronger ingredients, the ones I don't allow my staff to touch. Hydroquinone, mercury, steroid creams, illegal in high amounts, but very, very effective. I mixed them into a base lotion, stirring until the cream turned too white to be natural. Some people ask me, Pearl, why don't you just sell safe products? Those people don't understand Lagos. Safe doesn't sell fast. Safe doesn't give overnight glass skin. Safe doesn't make millions in a month. I built everything I have with these hands. My shop, my followers, my lifestyle. People admire my glow, my designer clothes, my Dubai trips. But if I stop giving results, if I fail to deliver instant beauty, they will forget me in a second. Pressure is my fuel. I poured the dangerous mixture into branded containers and sealed them perfectly. Professional, beautiful, deadly. As I wiped my gloves and cleaned the table, I whispered to myself, if she comes back looking like a goddess, she will bring 10 more. And if the cream eventually ruins her skin, that won't be my problem. By then, I would have moved on to the next big seller. Because in this world, glow is business, and business must boom. The first night I used Proud Glow's products, my skin tingled. By the second day, it started peeling a little, but I told myself it meant the cream was working. On the third morning, I looked in the mirror and gasped. My skin was brighter, the dark patches fading, my face smoother, my knuckles almost matching. At work that day, everyone noticed. Amaka, you are glowing. New skincare routine? Girl, drop plug, abeg. Even my boyfriend stared at me like I was a completely different person. For the first time in my life, I wasn't invisible. I took pictures, thousands, posting the best ones online. Comments poured in. Fire, fire, fire. Skin goals. You are too fine. Drop skincare brand. I tagged Pearl Glow just like she asked. That night, I admired myself again, touching my cheeks gently. Smooth, bright, beautiful. A small voice in my head whispered, finally, you are becoming the girl everyone notices. By the 7th day, I couldn't believe it. The girl in the mirror had everything I prayed for. Light skin, confidence, attention. And I swore never to go back to the old me. So when Pearl messaged me, come for your next set, your glow must continue. I didn't hesitate. I didn't ask questions. I didn't even think. Because now, I needed the glow to survive. Amaka came back exactly 1 week later, glowing like a goddess. She didn't know it yet, but that glow was more dangerous than she could imagine. I smiled as I greeted her, holding a new, stronger set of products. This one had a higher concentration, the kind that would make her skin flawless even faster. But the side effects were serious. Your glow is beautiful, I said, and I have something to make it last even longer. She didn't hesitate. She paid without thinking, handing over almost double what she paid last time. 220,000 naira in total. Money dropped into my palm. I felt the familiar rush, the sound of profit, power, and control. Watching her leave the shop, I knew she would come back again and again. And each time, she trusts me more, blindly. I cleaned my counter and checked my orders online. Instagram posts, messages, and video testimonials flooded in. The girls loved the results. They didn't know what was hidden in the bottles. And that was how I stayed ahead. While they got their perfect skin, I kept the secret. The dangerous formula that no doctor could touch. It was simple. Glow is business, and business must always grow. I poured myself a glass of champagne. Outside, Lagos hummed like always, but inside my lab, my world was perfect. Money, power, perfection, and no one could stop me. At first, I thought it was nothing. A little itch here, a small redness there. I blamed the weather, my diet, even stress from work. But by the 3rd day, it became impossible to ignore. My skin, the one that had glowed so beautifully, was reacting. Red patches spread across my cheeks. Small bumps formed along my jawline. Some areas felt tight, almost burning. I tried to hide it. Makeup would cover it mostly. But even my boyfriend noticed. "Amaka, your skin, it looks different," he said, frowning. I smiled weakly. "It's nothing, just a little reaction. Will pass." Inside, panic started creeping in. At work, colleagues whispered behind my back, "What happened to her? She was glowing just last week." I remembered Pearl's warning. Use as instructed. Results will be perfect. I followed the instructions to the letter. So why was this happening? By night, the itching became unbearable. I couldn't sleep. I rubbed my face until it hurt. I called Faye, my friend. She checked the product online, reading reviews. "Amaka, this cream has steroids and chemicals. People complain about reactions, some permanent." My stomach dropped. The glow I had begged for, paid for, and shown off online was now becoming a nightmare. I wanted to stop using it, but the fear of losing my glow, the attention, the compliments, I hesitated. That night, staring at my reflection, I whispered, "God, please, let it be just a rash, not worse." By the third week, my perfect skin had started betraying me. It began with tiny red patches on my cheeks. I thought it was just irritation, but by morning, they had spread across my face and neck. The glow I had bragged about on Instagram now looked unnatural, patchy, and inflamed. At work, people stared. Some whispered behind my back. Even my boss, normally kind, asked, "Amaka, are you sick?" I smiled weakly, but panic churned in my stomach. That evening, I called Pearl. "Amaka, is everything okay? Your glow should be perfect now," she said in that same calm, sweet tone. "Something's wrong with the cream. My skin is burning," I cried. "Maybe your skin is just adjusting. Keep using it," she replied. Her voice gave no comfort, only control. I hung up trembling. The next day, I tried to meet her at the shop. When I arrived, Pearl was busy attending a wealthy influencer. I waited outside the Lagos sun burning down, my skin now flaking and itching. People passing by gave me strange looks. Some even laughed. I wanted to disappear. By night, my condition worsened. Blisters appeared along my jawline. My hands cracked so badly I couldn't type on my phone. I tried to sleep, but the burning made me toss and turn. I called Faye. She gasped when she saw my face over the video call. "Amaka, this is dangerous. Stop using it immediately." I can't," I whispered. "I don't want to lose the glow. Everyone's looking at me. I need this." Her voice trembled. "Girl, your health is more important than attention." By the weekend, I had burns spreading to my arms and neck. I couldn't cover it completely. People recoiled. Even the photographers I had hired for a photo shoot refused to take my pictures. Pearl sent me another message. "Don't worry, you will heal quickly. Just follow the instructions." I didn't trust her anymore. I realized she had never cared about me. It was always about the next sale, the next glowing testimonial, the next profit. I wanted to warn others. I thought about posting on social media, exposing her. But every time I imagined confronting her, fear froze me. That night, staring at the mirror, I whispered, "This glow, it wasn't free. I've paid too much." And deep inside, a sickening truth set in. I was in too deep. Pearl had me exactly where she wanted, addicted to her promise of beauty, powerless to stop it, and slowly, painfully paying the price. By the fourth week, my skin was a disaster. Burns, peeling, redness, everything I had paid for and proudly shown online was gone. I went back to Pearl's shop, desperate for answers. She smiled, her usual calm, like nothing was wrong. "Just keep using it. Soon your skin will heal. You'll be glowing again." I couldn't take it. I left and went straight to my place in Lekki. I called Faye. She came immediately, eyes widening at the sight of my face. Amaka, you have to stop this now. Together, we collected the empty bottles, receipts, and screenshots of Pearl's messages. I also dug through my bank records, noting every transfer I made to her. We went to the hospital the next morning. The dermatologist's office smelled sterile and sharp. She examined my face and body carefully. These are severe chemical burns. You've been exposed to steroids and industrial bleaching agents, the doctor said, shaking her head. You need treatment immediately. If you continue using these products, permanent damage is very likely. I felt my chest tighten. Everything I had done for beauty, for approval, had nearly destroyed me. Determined, Faye and I began gathering evidence. We spoke to other girls who had bought Pearl's products. Some had minor burns, others worse. The stories were shocking. We submitted a formal complaint to the Lagos Consumer Protection Council, sending photos, videos, and testimonials. Soon after, a local journalist contacted us for an interview. The news coverage began to shine a spotlight on Pearl Glow. Meanwhile, Pearl carried on with business, oblivious. Orders were still coming in, girls still posting their glow pictures online. I realized how calculated she was. Her empire ran on desperation, vanity, and ignorance. That night, I lay in bed, my skin wrapped in ointment, staring at the ceiling. The pain was real, but I also felt a spark of hope. Pearl would not get away with this. The following week was chaotic. The Consumer Protection Council raided Pearl's shop. Rows of bottles were seized, labeled falsely as organic or herbal. Pearl tried to charm the officers with her usual smile. Ladies, I only want to help girls glow. But no one listened. The journalist filming outside captured everything. Her empire was crumbling in real time. Victims came forward, dozens of girls, each telling the same story. Some showed burns, peeling, scarring. Some still had infections from overuse of her creams. Pearl's influence faded overnight. Social media accounts were deactivated. Influencers stopped endorsing her products. The city that once celebrated her brand now whispered about her greed and recklessness. I appeared in court as a witness. Seeing her sitting there, calm but cornered, I felt a strange mixture of relief and anger. I only wanted to help girls glow, Pearl protested. The judge shook his head. You endangered lives for profit. You are guilty of distributing toxic products. You will face fines, imprisonment, and a permanent ban on selling skincare. Justice had arrived. Pearl's empire was gone. Her beauty, her influence, her power vanished. I walked out of the courtroom with Faye, feeling lighter than I had in weeks. My skin was healing slowly, though some scars remained, a constant reminder of what blind trust and obsession with appearance could cost. I spoke quietly to myself. True beauty isn't skin deep. Confidence comes from health, self-love, and protecting yourself. No cream, no Instagram filter, no rich vendor is worth your life. From that day, I chose carefully. Friends who were honest, products that were safe, and respect for my body. The world of quick fixes and empty promises taught me the hardest lesson. Nothing comes free, especially beauty. Pearl's name became a warning, and mine became a story of survival, justice, and the price of chasing perfection.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more stories.